And turning to the Middle East, the militant group Hamas has claimed to have captured an Israeli soldier. Sunday's announcement coincided with what's described as one of the fiercest days of Israeli shelling in the last 2 weeks. And CCTV's Jim Spellman is live in our newsroom with more on this. Jim.
You can see people there in that Hamas television clip cheering when it was announced that they had taken this Israeli prisoner hostage, prisoner of war, essentially. We'll have to see what that does to the tensions there in Gaza. It certainly could ramp them up even more. Excuse me. The announcement comes Sunday after what was the bloodiest day so far in this nearly 2-week-old conflict. The health minister in Gaza announced at least 65 Palestinians were killed, and the Israelis say at least 13 IDF soldiers were killed. That brings the totals up to at least 400 Palestinians and 20 Israelis dead, and many more wounded, including many children in Gaza. But the numbers only tell part of the story. Listen to some Palestinians describing the fighting.
The situation is difficult. There was intense bombing. The children were crying. We could not stay there, so we left on foot an hour ago, and we will walk.
The situation here is extremely difficult, and missiles come down on us like rain. We're staying with our neighbors all together, and we're all scared from night till morning. We can't manage our nerves.
No one is staying in the Shuja'iyya neighborhood. People fled from their homes. If you stay at home, you will die from a random shell. There are children in these homes and are running away through the rubble.
And indeed, many Palestinians have been forced to leave their homes. 35,000 fleeing Sunday's fighting alone, in addition to the 81,000 the UN says are already staying in UN shelters there. In response to criticisms that the Israeli offensive has inflicted too big a toll on civilians, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is arguing that the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces response, is actually quite measured, and accused Hamas of using civilians as human shields. The Israeli forces say the goal of their operation is to take out weapon caches and a system of underground tunnels used to move weapons and soldiers in and out of Israel.
The international community has to, once this is put in place, we really have to undertake a program to demilitarize Gaza and to change the situation, because it's unacceptable. What makes it unacceptable is Hamas and Islamic Jihad. These people are the worst terrorists, genocidal terrorists. They call for the destruction of Israel, and they call for the killing of every Jew wherever they can find.
So Jim, tell us, how is the international community responding to the crisis right now?
The president of the Palestinian Authority, Mahmoud Abbas, is due to meet with UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon in Qatar. And here in Washington, the Secretary of State, John Kerry, was caught in an unguarded moment when he thought the cameras weren't rolling, apparently criticizing the severity of the Israeli attacks. Listen.
It's a hell of a pinpoint operation. It's a hell of a pinpoint operation.
Right. It's escalating significantly, and it just underscores the need for ceasefire.
We've got to get over there.
Yep.
Thank you, John. I think, John, we ought to go tonight. I think it's crazy to be sitting around.
The Secretary speaking on the phone to an aide there. That's certainly raising eyebrows here in Washington, where Israel is considered a major ally. The Secretary will, however, travel to Cairo Monday to try to work on a ceasefire brokered through the Egyptians, Susan.
All right, Jim Spellman reporting live from our newsroom. Thank you for all of that.